Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to it's been very long time since I slept. So bear with me. It's all good. Just bear with me, y'all. It's going to be a low-key episode. I'm still going to be your silly goose boy. My name, one of the co-hosts of the Get Reelisms podcast, episode 114. My name is Adam Chase Rennie.
And I am still Christine Chen. I did get sleep.
We're in for a silly one, y'all. It's going to be crazy.
We'll balance each other out.
Yeah, that's what I need in life is just balance. I actually do. I do need balance, but I have none of that. Okay. So Christine, what is happening with you?
Well, we will start.
You got
I
some
have some
shit
bad
happening.
news. I had some shit happen. It's just to me. But not anybody's fault, by my own and my lack of understanding of Hollywood versus Texas.
And speaking of Hollywood, we do have writers strike updates too. I don't know if you have any, but yeah, if we run out of shit to talk about,
we should talk about that for sure.
We'll save it for the end,
Yay. Okay, so good news is it's really just between me and you, but I got these made.
Woo! Sheesh!
Yeah,
you got the Get Reelisms hat.
Yeah, I have one for you.
You got one for me?
Yeah, it's right here. And when I'm in Texas again, I will. I will bring it to you. PA Boot Camp says you want balance in life. I know there's no such thing as balance.
Yeah, I do. PA Boot Camp, but I mean, I know shit happens, especially when you're working in the industry. Nothing can be in a balance. PA Boot Camp wants one of the hats too, Christine. So you're gonna need to ship one to them.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. I want to read just a little bit because the Get Reelisms part is a little bit difficult to read. I wish the circle could be larger, so I'm gonna make a few adjustments. But hey, these are the very first ones. I wasn't sure how they would turn out, and I like them. Do you like the yellow rim?
No, yeah. I was about to say the yellow rim is a nice touch, and the button on top too. It's yellow. I like it.
I like it. All right. So I don't even know how to start. It's more for me. I had to come to terms with it. PA Boot Camp will feel really probably sad for me, but it's a faux pas. I committed a faux pas that I didn't even know was a faux pas. So in the independent world,
how do you say faux pas again? Say it one more time.
Faux pas. Is that incorrect?
Faux pas. Oh, I say, the king's coronation happened a couple of days ago, and I say it's a faux pas to wear a fake crown on your majesty's day.
Yes.
What a faux pas.
Committed a crime that I didn't even know was a crime. But
oh, really?
Yeah. Well, so in the indie world, we are so used to having to do all of our own marketing. It's actually encouraged when you're on set to take as many photos and videos and everything as possible and let the world know that you're working on an amazing project so that you can let people, figure out, oh my God, get excited about it, right? It is the polar opposite in Hollywood. At a certain level, it is, especially when you're working with major talent. And so for those out there who ever get onto a set that has major talent, or really, I would just say any set really, and specifically in Hollywood and Los Angeles, be very conscious. Be very conscious of what you choose to post on your private social media accounts, even if it's just like, hey, it's on a story. Hey, it doesn't give away any details. Hey, this is literally just two guys sitting here. Anything, because you don't know what the agreement is between the production and the team that manages the talent, right? So when you get to a certain level, a lot of these people have full on PR teams. Like, I don't know how big they are, but they are teams. And this is the first time I ever dealt with something like this, because everything I've done before has been, oh, we have quote unquote name talent, but they don't have like full on PR teams. They are like as themselves, and they've done bigger name projects, but they're still representing themselves. And the most you would deal with is their agency, which is already annoying in itself. So now you're dealing with full PR teams. Now, the person that they represent may not give a shit about what you do, but the team might. So I made the mistake of I was very excited about the project that I was on, which I will not name again because I got to remember Hollywood loves to keep things under the wrap and everything is a effing secret, which is really stupid because this film has been in the public for a very long time. But okay, it's a secret project. And it's starring two big actors and three actually, but two specifically big actors. So big that we have bodyguards on set. And I didn't know what it's like to deal with, to be at that level when you would be considered an A-list star, that your personal safety is an issue and a concern, because there are very enthusiastic fans that will do everything that they can to that feel like they're entitled to access to you because you're a star, right? Which really, really sucks. And so I completely understand why things happen. Yeah. High profile cast is dangerous. Yeah. And I never really had to deal with that or understood that. And now, like, having time to reflect, I'm like, oh shit, like, yeah, I didn't know that like posting one little thing could draw, scary people to set, because there's scary people looking for that information for a possible indication of where something is happening so that they can go and like be like, stalkerish, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that happened on this, but I understand that that's what they're trying to prevent, right? And so I posted on my stories something that I thought was completely like
innocuous.
Not innocuous. It's a picture of two of the talent in between set sitting on a bench. You cannot tell where this effing bench is. There is no story that is different that you can tell from it or whatever, but whatever it is, it was enough. And I didn't tag anything, anyone, any hashtags, zero. It's just a picture. Somehow a fan group found this photo and reposted it on a fan site. And that is where I got fucked.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm like, how the hell did they know to follow me? And they did. I don't even know. I don't even think they follow me. I don't even know they looked at my stories or anything,
Yeah.
Second of all,
that's crazy.
Like, I'm like, I didn't even know these fan sites existed. The only reason I knew was because one of my second ADs was like, hey, I think the photo that they're talking about might be yours because it got reposted on a fan site. I was like, what fan site? And he like searches for it and there it is. I'm like, fuck.
Yikes.
Like, God damn it. Yeah. So needless to say, I understand because they got to nip this shit in the bud. And you know what? That awesome actor, the thing is, he probably doesn't even know because he has a flip phone. Like he literally has a flip phone. He's not on social media or anything. But his team, for sure, this is all they do. They monitor his image 24/7, right? So I'm sure the moment that popped up, they're like, oh my God, this is going to violate security and like NDA shit and whatever. We're curing cancer. So we're going to put up a stink with production. And I get it. I have zero personal ties with any of the producers or anything. And there are ADs galore. There are crew galore in Los Angeles. And that's the one thing that I think is really a hard lesson, is that if you aren't, even if you're killing it, even if you're doing the best job you possibly, and I knew I was killing it, because I had several crew come up to me, including a producer this day on Monday, May 1st, being like, hey, like, I love the way you run the set. Even if you are the best at what you do, you can still get let go for who knows what reasons. And I had this experience a long time ago on my first union set in 2016, for a project called Urban Cowboy. I was a PA. I was hustling. I know I was doing a good job, but I was one of the last PAs that was hired onto the set. One day I was told, hey, well, I'll let you go. And I'm like, but I am killing it. And I heard through the grapevine that some accountant's daughter needed an internship and they wanted that role. And I was the last person hired. So I was the first person out. And that's, I think the lesson to be learned is that, like, man, like this industry is cruel, and you can do your absolute best, but you can't get past politics. If you can't play the game with politics, then you're going to continue to be rudely, like,
bumped down.
Surprised and stuff like that. Right. So yeah, in this case, I totally understand. I went and I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I guess so. Like, their team, probably put a stink about it, and what's production to do? And I sit and think about, like, if I was in production shoes, what would I have done? And you know what? It's, yeah, unless I'd had a personal connection with that person or whatever, there isn't really much incentive for me to fight for them, right? Because the threat of an A-list actor walking or who knows what is much more detrimental than a crew member, that did something that supposedly they're supposed to know, that you don't. Like, and this is the thing, I guess everybody in Los Angeles knows this. I guess they committed it once and they're like, oopsies. So, it was, for me, it was like, I don't get fired. That's like my MO has always been.
Have you ever been fired? I mean, besides like, something like Urban Cowboy where they replace you and stuff.
I have, but
okay.
For all the other things, I didn't care that I was fired. Does that make sense?
In that circumstance, you mean?
Yes. In everything else that I've been fired, I'm like, fuck it. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't care. Yeah. I'm so glad I am. I'm going to greener pastures. In this situation, I loved the crew. I loved the set. I loved how it was run. I loved everything about it. And like, every day going to work was great. Like, I was very happy to be there. I don't think, and for an AD, when things run perfectly, it is the most joyful feeling ever. At least for me, it's like when I know deep in my heart that I've done the best that I can and that everything went perfectly, like, there's a sense of accomplishment to that. And that's how I felt every single day that I've been on this set. Sure, there will be days. There was definitely one day that was like, oh my God, this is a lot to handle. But like, we still ended on time and it was fine. And like, but every other day we ended on time, or we were early, not just like, oh, 30 minutes. We were early. And like, I would try to
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And crew was freaking happy. And so I'm you know how I am. I'm a give it 200% kind of person, right?
Yeah.
Always. I'm a 200% kind of person. And so to be like, I did the absolute best that I could do, and I know I did, and to lose a gig because of something that I wasn't aware of, that I got no warning about and stuff like that, like really, really was a punch to me. And the thing is, like, I have to understand that I can't take it personally, right? Like, I can't. It's business, and I understand it's politics, and I have to think about, like, from the producers didn't do anything wrong. They were backed into a hard quarter. It's harder. It's nobody wants to. We've gelled. I've been on this project for almost 4 weeks already, because there was like 3 weeks of prep, and I went into Sacramento. I scouted all the things, and like the DP and director and we all bonded and stuff like that. So, and I had like grand plans of like different themes to do for the call sheet. Like I was really emotionally invested into the project. And I think that's the hardest part, was I was very emotionally invested into it. And so, I was kicking myself for a very long time, and feel, moping around and feeling sad about it. And then I think it made me realize, like, dude, my ultimate goal is not really to be to be an AD for life. My ultimate goal is to be a director, right? And ADing was always supposed to be a stepping stone for me. And it was always a means to be able to be in the industry and work closely with directors, so that I can learn as much as I can and be the best director I can be. Now, it's almost like people who get laid off and stuff like that, and they realize, like, hey, you can do the best you can in something, but you can still get let go no matter what. So why waste? Not waste is a terrible term, but why sink in this amount of time and effort into something that you're not even 100% about, when you can just get let go so easily? Maybe I need to, like, freaking just bite the bullet and just, put everything into what I actually want to do, which is directing, right?
Yeah.
So I just shifted my mindset a bit, and now every day I'm like trying to find classes that will, like, online stuff too, because like if you guys know, like Sundance and programs like that will have a lot of free classes. I'm part of a few organizations like Film Fatales, the Women's Directing Alliance and stuff like that, and so going in and like going all in, and every day writing and everything. So that's how I'm choosing to think about it. So long story short, that's the positive of it, is like getting a fire up my ass, being like, dude, you came to Los Angeles not to be the best AD in the world. You came to Los Angeles to be the best director that you can be, right?
It's so weird, because I came to Texas for filmmaking. That was my whole reason of coming to Texas. And then I met you. Yeah. But it's so crazy though. I wanted to like because you said something that was super interesting. And it was just like, even as something as like innocuous as like, bro, it's a bench. It's just a fucking picture of a bench. It's so crazy, because like I see on Reddit all the time where they'll have like dedicated subreddits to like specific actors, like Timothy Chalamet. Dude, I worked with this I should probably say her name. Yeah, I won't say her name, but I worked with somebody who's not doesn't matter. Like there's this person who's
has
an internet personality.
Has a following. Yeah.
She has a following. And she literally posted something like on her Snapchat that was like, it was like she was like getting like a grilled cheese sandwich or something, or like it was like some food stand or whatever.
Yeah.
And she took a picture of a corner of it, just a corner of it with the food in the shot and stuff.
Yeah.
These fuckers on Reddit pinpointed exactly where that stand and that restaurant was and where she was, and put it on their website and their subreddits and go, oh, so-and-so is over here, you know, like in this city, in this location right here. And they'll drop a pin for them. I'm like, how do you guys do that? And also, how do you know this person was casted in this set, or even that set existed in the first place?
Right.
Like, do they have access to call sheets or something? Like,
they don't. That's what's
because call sheets are not public. Yeah,
they're not. It's mind blowing. We're under a fake name. Like, how do they know?
And the production is usually under a fake name, right?
Yeah, we're under literally a fake name, and
how
still, that's why I'm like, it's like mind blowing to me. Yeah,
that's why like Disney is like the most litigious when it comes to that shit too. Yeah. Like they will let you go on a drop of a hat for like the dumbest shit, you know. And this, by the way, this was Snapchat.
Yeah,
like only Zoomers use the Snapchat.
Yeah, it's nuts. But then I went and like I try to think about it from like other perspectives and stuff like that. I'm like, well, I guess like if I was working on a super secret thing for Apple, and
right,
I was an engineer on it, and I was excited, and I took a tiny picture of some, I don't know, piece of something, and that gave away the entire business advantage because it revealed what Apple was working on, and then like fuck their entire like market whatever going forward. Okay, like yeah, I understand.
But it's not like other tech companies wouldn't have access to that information. I don't know. Like that feels a little stupid to me. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing to be like, here's a picture of our storyboard, our entire movie. Right. Like, here you go, Twitter, you know, like that would be crazy to do. I mean, unless it's like after the movie releases, yada, yada. Right. But like, it's such a fucking
this is crazy
thing.
I just never, I mean, and then I just remind myself, like, I'm at a different level and I have to operate at a different level, like mentality.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, learning experience. I really just didn't know.
How could you though? At that moment, until you go through it.
Yeah, I felt like a dum-dum because like I was on cloud. I kid you not, I was on cloud 9 with this production. Like I just felt like, holy shit, like I'm killing it. If I can make it to the end, haha, like I'm gonna like open so many doors and like people are going to like, you know, I don't know. I just had this, again, it's terrible, the future thing. That's also something that's why you should be stuck in the future. But I had all these plans, like this is going to be amazing. And because I was killing it. And you know what made me not feel as terrible was the following day. I had the following day and the days, and I'm still getting messages. So far, half of the crew have reached out to me. So it was started off with the makeup department. Getting a text being like, I don't know what happened, but like we loved working with you. And then it was the camera being like, dude, this is fucked up, like come back. Then, you know, and then some other electric, you know, and everything. And in the end I was like, look, if I made a good impression on the crew and the crew was happy, then my job is done. Like, I did the best I could. They know that. That's like, I'm happy about that. If it was like, shit, she got fired, and everybody was like, sweet, you know,
then it would be like, oh,
she's gone. Then I'd be like, okay,
I'll go fuck myself
like,
then.
Reevaluate myself as, you know, a first AD. Maybe I need to change some stuff. But the fact that like pretty much everybody, people that I talked to or interacted with, from the set reached out like on their own accord. That was the cool thing. It was on their own accord. It wasn't me being like, help, I'm so sad. No, it was like, I'm like, I was surprised they had my number type thing. I guess it's on the Bible, but yeah, just people who had my info that reached out and was like, hey, like you were great. Like, we're going to miss you so much. I don't know what happened. And you don't have to say, because you may not be at liberty to, but like, like,
fuck.
Hope you're okay. Yeah. And I thought that was super cool. That was really cool that they did that. So
it is cool, and it's also messed up. And I'm sorry that happened too. Like, I mean, I understand that it's like, well, it's a harsh fucking lesson, and it makes you realize, and well, it makes you think that, like, oh my God, you know how many people probably like done worse shit,
yeah.
on a set. Like, there'll be people who would like shoot an entire fucking Instagram reel of like BTS that it should never be published ever, and some PA or some some intern just takes a picture, sends it off to their social media, and everybody is like, well, that person is going to be launched into the stratosphere. Like, I guess goodbye to that one.
I mean, it's crazy though. What you're describing with the whole Reddit with the other actor. I mean, that's exactly what they're worried about.
Well, and that person, like, they had to go on break too. That was the other crazy thing. They were forced on a break so that they wouldn't collect any other information. So they're like, all right, well, after today, we have to shut down the set. And that person was like, I think I costed them like a couple of like $100,000, like, easily. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't be able to sleep. Like, that would keep me up at night, dude.
I get it. That's what production was doing. They were shutting that down because that's probably what could happen. Or I was just like absolutely shocked that something I posted on my story that is tagged 0 people, 0 anything, hashtag nothing, and immediately it's on my story. It's not even on my like main feed. Immediately
it disappears.
Yeah, it disappears. It's already disappeared. It immediately became permanent on some fan site. Yeah.
Because they took a screenshot and they just sent it
what's
right on their way.
Is that they came to their own conclusion. So they took several, not just mine. That's the thing. That's what's fucked up. It's just mine had a recognizable person in it. They took somebody else's screenshot too. That was just like a picture of a slate, basically. Yeah. So they took the slate, took my photo, and then put it into a carousel, and then was like, there you go. This production is in production. And so it links the real title of the film to the people. Like, it, I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
So they have to like geolocate every single piece of location that y'all are in. Yeah, it's just most of the internet have no chill.
Yeah.
When it comes, stalkers be stalking, Christine.
Yeah, stalkers be stalking. Apparently, I'm not like, everybody's just nice, positive and like,
yeah.
That's just me, and meanwhile, it's just someone trying to like kill me, like, and I have no clue. I would be a really good skit would be like me being nice to like the Grim Reaper. And then in the meantime, every time he like tries to kill me, like I dodge it somehow without myself knowing, because I like go and like he's like about to like cut my head off, and I'm like, oh, here's like a matcha latte, and then like he's like, okay, so he's distracted, and then okay, he's about to kill me again. I'm like, oh hey, like, do you want to be my friend?
Right. You want to get some drinks?
Yeah. Let's hang out.
Let's hang, dude. Yeah.
That's me, like completely
That's hilarious.
Unaware. So unaware. It's so sad. Meanwhile, I've got 2 great friends, Kelly and Roxy, who are like the polar opposite of me, but somehow they get the shit end of the stick all the time.
Yeah, I mean, but I get where you're coming from, though. You know what I mean? Because I'm the same way with Kelly and Rox. Like, I'm very much just like, that's the thing. That's what I don't like about me, is that I'm too overcritical. I'm too like, I will see somebody, I'm like, oh, I don't trust you. Like, I have this natural instinct. Like, I'll be nice and stuff, but like, I won't, like, if I have a bad feeling, or like if I have any sort of inclination that something isn't right, I wish I had like golden retriever, just blind trust of everything. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I can just be like, I love everybody. Like everybody's great. Why would they want to hurt me? It's like, well, crazy people be crazy. You know, like that's just kind of the fucked up part of this world, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, you learn, and hopefully Christine, you know, you know, to just look at you do what a lot of kids do, and that's what's called an ocular pat down. And you just look at a person and you just go, all right, you're not a threat, and then you move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, for me, I'm like, okay, well, I learned a very expensive lesson, but hey, I learned, and I'll never do that again. And
How many more days on set were there going to be?
dude, I only made it 1 week and 1 day, and it's a
And it's a feature, right?
yeah. So I had 25 more days, or 20 days at least.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really sad.
I mean, yeah, but also like maybe like you said, like it kind of did you a favor in a way, right? Where
now I have 20 some days to come up with something.
Focus on your shit. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, granted, you're probably not gonna, you know, the money could have been great, but
yes,
you know,
exactly.
it is.
Yeah, in the end, that's what I thought about. I was like, you know what? Like the part that, what am I losing? I'm losing
that
the
too.
money.
It's just like I mean, I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, but like you're good at your job. It's not like this is something that is like, oh, well, that's it. Hollywood kicked me out and I'm now got done. You know, like that's not how it works. It's just like,
Totally.
yeah, you made a mistake. Fuck. All right. You know, move on. Yeah. And then somebody else is going to see you, and you made a lasting impression on those people on set. They're easily going to be like, yeah, like
I could actually fuck up.
Yeah, it was like, wait, Christine is wait, what? Really? That's fucked up. Why is she gone? You know, like that's yeah. So it probably does work out in the end, truly. And I'm glad that you have a sunnier perspective on this, because yeah, like let's like think about it like back in like the COVID days. Like if this shit happened, you would have been like, well, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like it was just, it's the end of the world. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what you would go to, but like for me, it would feel that same way too. You know,
I mean, I went through those feelings for sure. Right. So I mean, I definitely went through a few days where I was, it's up and down. It comes in waves. It's like I'm grieving a relationship. I had a relationship. That's what it feels like. Like I had a genuine relationship with this production, and I thought they were the one. And out of nowhere, they're like, "No, let's break up." And I'm like, "What?"
Right. Yeah.
And then, and it was for something that I thought was you. So maybe I made a comment, and it was something that I thought was nothing, and that comment stuck in their brain forever. So they were like, that person's definitely not the one. And so like, and let's break up, you know. So
yeah. I mean, and at least they told you, right? Like there's some breakups that like they won't ever tell you. They're just like they drop you like a hot.
Tell me.
Oh, really? They didn't.
They didn't tell me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, so then how did you find that information?
This is my hypothesis. And the reason how I'm pretty sure this is it is because I got an email on Monday being like, hey, make sure to tell during the safety meeting everyone not to take pictures of any of the talent, and definitely not post anything on social media. And then my second AD coming to me be like, hey, they've been talking about this particular photo or something. I'm pretty sure you took it. And then he showed it to me on one of the fan sites, and then I connected all the dots.
Gotcha.
And I was like, oh fuck. And I honestly at that moment I didn't really think about it. I was like, oh, okay, never taking a photo again. That's all my brain was like, okay, cool. Okay. Gotta make sure, you know, tell everybody. What I didn't expect was it was that serious, that, you know, they just without a reason and without anything just let me go, you know.
Yeah.
So that is literally, I was so good at my job that I know that literally was the only thing. There are two things possible. That, or I like to have fun on set. So I like to give people a fun environment.
Mm-hmm.
So that means like I'll joke around with everybody. I'll, because the thing is, like, we're making movies, and I believe that as long as we get our shit done and we do it well, work hard, play hard. That's always been my motto. Work hard, play hard. Now, I don't think some people share that agreement. I think some people feel like when we're at work, we're supposed to be serious. Like, nobody should be laughing, and no music should be playing, and like it should be militant and type thing. And I just don't believe in that. And I've often told people during interviews for different projects, like, hey, giving you a heads up, I have a very specific style of how I AD. I like, if people are open to it, I do themed call sheets. I make it fun. Like, I joke with people. This is important to me. For me, I feel like I'm Ted Lasso of film sets.
You are totally Ted Lasso. Totally. Yeah.
I'm Ted Lasso on a film set.
Right. It's like, all right, guys, we're going to have movie night, but once we start a pillow fight, we will never have movie at night again.
Exactly. I'm literally
Dude, I love that. That's hilarious.
I love Ted Lasso, but that's like how I want to be. I want to be even more like him. Like, I want people to like come to work and just be happy that they're coming to work to because it's a privilege to do what we do in this industry. And I think about that all the time. It's a privilege. And so I never want people to be like, oh, she's gonna yell at me, or like, I finished my work early, so I leave, like, oh no, like, you can't because it's 12-hour days,
right.
I don't ever want to waste.
Why have that kind of stress? It's already stressful enough.
Exactly.
It's just fuck me.
So those are the only two things they can pinpoint. I'm too fun of an AD and not professional enough, which is bullshit, because I'm like, dude, I can get my shit. Yeah. I can get my shit done faster, better, and on time, so I fulfill my duties. How I get there, like, you shouldn't. Why is that a thing? And then the photo, and so and
that might have been just the crux of it.
Sure, it's the photo, not the other one, because I was very upfront during the interview that, hey, my style is this. So if you need a serious AD, I am not your pick. Do not pick me, please. Yeah, right. I was and then the interview was very much like, no, like, we want it to be fun. We want it to like work hard, play. I was like, cool.
That's what they said. That's hilarious.
And they wanted me to do they were very excited about the themed call sheets and all that stuff. So like, and the thing is, like, it was the energy of the set. That's what was beautiful about it, was that people loved that, and people were very receptive to that. I was trying to beat there's one set that took theme call sheets to the next level, and that's room 203. And I wanted to beat room 203, like, get everybody into it, right? And we were getting there. Like, I was seeing the departments all catching on, and it was fun to see that. And one of our days was like Battle of the Bands. I went to the freaking thrift store. I realized it didn't have a band shirt at all. Actually, I do have one. I found it, but it was super old. You can't even see what's on it anymore. So I went to get a Nirvana shirt at the thrift store. That's how committed I was to the theme. Yeah. And then it's fun to show up on set and be like, what band you got, and then people like lifting, because it was really cold. So we're all wearing like sweatshirts and stuff, and people revealing like what bands they were repping. Yeah. So they understood fun.
The assignment.
Yeah, they understood the assignment, and we were seeing that, starting to catch on and stuff, and that to me is so fun. And so that's why I'm like, pretty sure that's not why. The other one makes perfect sense.
Well, in terms of like the seriousness, maybe you can answer this question. Maybe it's a good segue. You think the climate of the writer's strike has something to do with the vibe? because
Oh,
the writer strike, I don't know if you've been seeing this, they shut down, what was it, 13 sets in the
oh.
last 2 days
Mm,
between the East and West Coast, which is kind of great. And they're big sets too, which
yeah.
makes me feel like how many other sets like are probably going to get shut down that aren't as like big. Like there was a Billions show that was shut down. And anyways, we could talk about that later. But like, what do you, I mean, like, I'm trying to understand like why hire somebody with the intent of being the cheery, positive reinforcement first AD, which is the best example you can set for production, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, aside from like, a good director and whatever the fuck, whatever, but it just feels very strange to me that that wouldn't be the first thing you would want in a set, is to just not have this like crazy intense vibe where
Yeah.
you can have fun, and it's okay to have fun. I've worked on way too many of those sets where it was just like I make one joke and they look at me like, Adam, bro, like not now.
It's
It's just like,
stupid. I don't understand
what the
that
fuck?
whatsoever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I I've been on sets like that. I remember my first union experience was awful. I hated it because it was a whole like I think because I was new to it because I'd just been doing indies and my own shit. So this was the first professional union set I did. This was in
Mhm.
2016. And I remember like sitting down for like 5 minutes because like, dude, my feet were killing me. And then getting berated by the second being like, PAs don't sit down, type thing. And like, and just like bullshit like that. And then like just getting, I don't know. And it's a trickle down effect, in my opinion. Like if you think that you can treat people that way, right? I, this is my theory. That's a very old school way of thought. Like, hey, discipline, and we gotta, and I believe in discipline. I really believe in it. But my thought is, if you make an environment so fun that people don't freaking want to leave it, and all they want to do is come back to it, when you're at that hour 12, God forbid, you need 30 more minutes, God forbid. Who do you think is going to give you that 30 minutes? The people who want to fucking leave the set because they didn't have fun and you're treating them like shit? Or the people who are going to go grab a beer with you anyways after set because they love hanging out with you? Right?
Doesn't seem like a hard decision to me.
Exactly. So that's,
So
and happy work reflects. Sad work, it also reflects. You can see it in the
totally.
pride that people do. Like people who give a crap about what they do, it shows in their work, right? So if you give them a good environment and a stress-free as you can possibly give them, that work is going to be better than someone who's under duress,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
You're
And
going to get
sets are,
way more output.
yeah, and sets are already stressful. It's already,
You have
so
12 hours to
yeah.
do everything. That's sometimes just not enough time. PA Boot Camp says, and why do the crew closest to camera get to make the entertaining bloopers, B-roll, if the set isn't supposed to be 50% fun, 50% work ethic? Yeah,
Right. It's a double standard, is what she PA Bootcamp is saying. It is. We've had this
totally.
discussion before. It's not fair. And it's a mentality that I just think old school sets need to shift to realize that every
You think it's old
single,
school though?
yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. So I was on this other, you asked me if I've been let go on other sets. I have, and one
Yeah.
of them I was like, thank God. So
Yeah. All right.
because
Fair
it
enough.
was one of them was in prep, and I knew something was wrong because people were scared to leave the office. And even though they were done for the day, like they had nothing else to do, they were rather sit there and pretend that they were working than leave.
Huh.
That, in my opinion, is something is wrong with upper management, right?
Yeah.
They were afraid to leave until the the director left, basically. And being me, I'm like, fuck it, I'm leaving. I don't give a shit. I'm done with everything. I go check in the director. I'm like, hey, these are the things I'm waiting on, because I don't have these answers from you. I can't continue to do more work. So when you have those answers, you let me know, but I'm done. Peace, type thing.
Right.
So it's always been that for me. I've left sets where I knew I was done with my work, and I checked in with all the departments, make sure they didn't need anything, and then I'm about to leave, and somebody looks at me being like, "You're leaving now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, my stuff is done." Well, are you sure? Mm-hmm. I checked with everybody. Please go ask everybody. If somebody's like, please, she needs to stay because we have X things for her to do, I will gladly stay,
Right.
And they don't have anything to say. So it's just it is an old school mentality of like, it's a corporate mentality. That maybe old school is wrong. It's a corporate mentality, a mentality of,
I agree.
Because we are paying you X amount, we need to squeeze that X amount of hours from you in order to justify us paying you that. Right? So
yeah.
So we would rather you sit there and look like you are giving us that 12 hours, even though you might be done, then go about and go and do other stuff, which is so dumb, because it's like, dude, if they got done early, you shouldn't be punishing people who are just efficient at their jobs.
I was about to say, they're too good at their job and therefore they be punished. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's just, you should reward people for that. Yeah, you got done early, leave. Go and
go home.
Spend time. Go spend time with your family.
Yeah.
Go get rejuvenated, because you're going to come back and do better work because you are 100%, right? So, yeah. So I've always, I don't know, maybe I've always been in the boat of like getting shit done very early and efficiently and fast, and it's just as good as somebody who draws it out. And so I always never want to waste anybody's time. So when people are like, "Hey, I'm done, can I leave?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I don't know why you went. Yeah, go home, type thing. So I don't know,
especially
how we got
for
on
a
this.
set, for a set, like it to be done early. That's a rarity, no?
Yeah.
You know what
Now,
I mean?
if I feel like we can add more stuff and continue to shoot, so
that's
that
another thing.
people will have a more chill time in the back end or whatever, I'm going to do that. But like, if I've exercised all the possibilities of what we can actually shoot and we don't have anything, like,
why stick around?
Why stick around? Exactly. So, but I think that's a very just corporate mentality of like, because I give you X, I expect this of your time. I don't know. We're talking about seriousness and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, because they all have, I think it's just a method of control more than anything. It's just like a method of just like, no, you're inferior to me. You know what I mean? Like I am, I set these standards.
It's a control thing.
And that's all we're going to do on this set. So no, because it's the same shit. Like I can't even show how goofy and stupid I am. Like I can't even do that on set. I can't joke around. So I'm just with my hat on, just like fucking keep my head down and just keep working, and then I go home. And that's a very because that's retail to me. You know what I mean? That was in the old world for me. I come to film because I mean, not primarily because like I can fuck around on set. No, it's just like you are stuck with a bunch of people who are also creative and talented. They too also want to have fun. You know what I mean? They too also are serious about their jobs. That's why they're in this business in the first place. They're not like, it's not like camera people are just like, yeah, I don't know, I plug shit in and I hit record and then that's not how camera works. No, but it's so much work. But yet camera department, 9 out of 10 times, usually have like the greatest time. Like they'll vibe out with each other. They'll just like, fucking chill with music and whatnot. And then, when it comes to other departments, there's a lot of times where production's like, no.
Yeah, it's a hierarchy. It's like oh, because we can't make a movie without a camera, then they get more leeway of stuff, which like
that's gross. That's gross.
It is what it is. It is what it is. And then a lot of times it's like, no, dude, like I hate to say it, but literally every single department is important. Sure, there are jobs that like are easier to replace than others, but that doesn't mean that their job is less important.
No.
So
yeah.
Whatever.
That's why people really hire more people with like competency in social, like good social skills, rather than like, an expert who's just an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. But but why I'm talking about this I have absolute respect for the production, for the upper management team and everything. And I'm not saying anything to whine about what happened. I'm actually saying like, oh shit, like I learned a lesson and I understand, type thing. And I have no ill will or anything. It's a hey guys, if you ever work with A-list actors, be very, very conscious. Don't do what I did.
Yeah.
And this is why type thing.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just the whole posting it on the internet. I mean, like having it offline, like just taking pictures and selfies, I think it's okay. Is fine.
It's the
it's just the idea. Yeah, it's just the idea of posting it.
Yeah, and that's I mean, I'm just
because it's exciting, it's fun. Yeah, I would want to post that shit.
Freaking excited about it. Also, that's what you're in most independent films. That's kind of like what you do because you're trying to self-promote and market yourself because if you know that like you're compromising somebody's safety, of course you're not going to do that. We're not idiots. Like if we know that that's a problem, that's a problem. Now, is that problem worth letting somebody go for? No. I think that's a really stupid thing to do. I don't know. I mean,
incompetency happens everywhere, dude. Even like the greatest directors are like fuck ups. You know what I mean? Like they will say and do stupid shit. And that's why
sometimes like I said, like I understand like why that happened. And it's sometimes there are mistakes that you just can't move beyond because it's out of your control. Like I truly believe this was okay. If the production wanted to fight for me, they would have. However, I understand that the cost of them fighting for me would have drawn out making the other party happier longer, right? So it is not.
I see.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. So they just want to cut to the chase. They
just want to nip it in the bud. Let's just fix the problem, right? And I get it. When you have a million on a set, there are always a million problems. Your crew should have known should have just known to not post shit, and I didn't. And hey, I get it, and I fucked up. So I get that. So they did what they needed to do, and that's the biggest thing. Like I understand with every production, as long as I know that I did the best I could, and I can live with myself with that, I'm okay. Yeah. So, crew's happy, I'm happy. So I have zero ill will. I get it. It's just a different level, and they have so many other considerations I've never thought about a film set needing to have. Like who the fuck spends their time looking at other people's stories? And I'm like, how do they even find that? How do they know I was on set? Like, I just like, what? I don't know. Yeah.
It's just like they're freaks. I don't know what else to say. I mean, these internet weirdos are just fucking unhinged. I mean, like I'm a dude who watches like video game streams and political streams and whatnot. And like, I'm no stranger when it comes to like, when it comes to like people getting doxxed or like people like getting stalked, like female like content creators getting stalked literally on it like on a super consistent basis. That is like absolutely fucking terrifying to be female and a content creator, which ideally shouldn't stop anybody. But when it comes to a set like that, Gilbert Baker Film Fest says, to err is human. We all make mistakes. Stay kind and gentle with yourself. Well, it's one of those things that you think is, it's like that. Do you know the comedian Sebastian Maniscalco?
No.
Okay. Well, he has this,
Sorry.
he's a comedian. No, it's okay. He has this joke where he is just like, he's like, growing up, I was taught and told to say a whole bunch of, I might have said this joke already, but it doesn't matter. Like he's like, I grew up understanding all this, and it all came from a book. And I realized as I grow up that nobody ever really read the book. like it's one of those realizations where it's like, oh, you're like, it's like having the need for control. It's like that to me is so mind-boggling because I'm not that kind of guy. I'm way more collaborative. I'm way more easy to work with because I'm willing to compromise. I'm willing to set, I set boundaries, but like I'm willing to come to the table with some sort of agreement. And yeah, we're going to have fun on set. But like when it comes to other people who are like, no, that's not how it works. Why are you like that?
Right.
Why are you like, did your childhood fuck you up that much that you have to have all the control in the world? You know what I mean? You want control? Go get a bonsai tree. You know what I mean? Like go trim a bonsai tree. There's nothing way more control than that. You know what I mean? Everybody is chasing after the perfect bonsai. I get it. But like, don't do that with human beings, dum-dum. You know what I mean? There's people who are not only amazingly talented at their job, but they actually want to have fun. Is that mind-blowing? Is that a crazy thing to say? Because to a lot of these people, they think, well, no, because I pay you X amount of money, dance monkey dance. You know what I mean? Right. It's just like, that's not how we do. No. You know what I mean? And that's not to say people don't come into work with a bad mood or an attitude or shit like that. Yeah. We all know that. Everybody has those moments, bad days and whatnot. But when it comes to the innate control of everything, you lose me.
Yeah.
You lose me. And I shut down and I don't socialize and stuff. And I hate it because it feels like I'm back at like, working at a coffee shop again, or, I'm back selling clothes again, as a manager. And it's just like it's crazy because I work with so many people and I deal with so many customers and interactions and stuff. Yeah, I was the most loneliest when I worked those jobs, except for when I started working in the film industry. Never felt lonely, like almost ever, In fact, sometimes I want to be left alone, depending on the situation. But yeah, like that's why like we're in this business in the first place, because it's awesome and it's rad. And why are we going to be so fucking serious and act like we're trying to make a cure for fucking cancer, dude? It's just like there's blood splatter in this movie. There's people lobbing heads off and shit. Relax. Yep.
Yeah. I agree. But yeah, learned it.
And it's not like people don't know that it's a serious, like you're supposed to take your job seriously, right?
Right.
It's not like, we're slapping some shit together and hanging out afterwards. It's just like there's a lot of work that happens, but I don't know. I guess just people just don't really understand that. Yeah. Which, if you're one of those people, listen, it's okay to want to have, actually, it's not okay. It's not okay to control people, because people are not really meant to be controlled, right? Yeah. So I think all in all, you should understand who your environment is.
Yes.
And know that like whoever you're walking into, like what Christine does when it comes to like a prospect for being a first AD for a particular set, you say that, look, I'm not a serious AD. I'm just kind of, I like to have fun. I make sure I get my work done for sure. But like, I always make sure that my crew is having fun too and getting happy and shit like that. You know what I mean? And you do that. You do a vibe check on everybody all the time, you know? And it's funny that they say, oh yeah, we want that. But then you get to the product, you get to set, and then it's just like, oh, well, guess who fooled who? You know what I mean? It's like it felt like somebody pulled the wool over your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it ain't what you signed up for. And you're getting too old for this shit. I'm kidding.
No,
you're not old.
That's
You're not old, but like, you know, yeah.
But I think that the lesson to be learned is stay true to what you believe in. Do the best that you can do.
Don't be a dickhead.
Don't be a dickhead. And if it doesn't work out, it's okay. People make mistakes.
Maybe it was meant to be.
It was meant to be. And for everything, there is a place. There's something to be learned or something to be, some lesson there. So, and always something to think about for all the people out there that are wanting to be in this industry or, you know, are in a job that they don't like and whatever. You can get let go doing the best that you can do in something that you don't even want to do in the end. Does that make sense? So why not
absolutely
spend your time and effort? I get money. Yes, money is very important, but why not spend a larger percentage of your time and effort on committing to building what you actually want to do? So that's what I believe to be true. Since we are, I think, getting to the end. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're at an hour, a little over an hour. If you want to take this in for a landing, unless you want to talk about more writer strike shit, we can just end it, you know.
Let's just take it for an ending. Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for participating and watching the podcast. We appreciate you. Hopefully we'll be back next week. You know the rules. You know the rules. We're the Get Realisms podcast. So you got to hop on that Get Realisms website right now and get your books. Please get your books, get your shirts, get your coming soon hats. So, you know, be on the lookout for that, dude. And thank you so much, Instagram. Thank you so much, chat. We appreciate you. Gilbert Baker, Jennifer, appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Thank you guys for participating. We are going to bring in other guests and stuff. We're trying to figure out our schedules and coordinate all that. But
actually, I mean, it's probably the wrong time to do a temperature check. But do you guys like enjoy the guests more than just the two of us? You know, do you prefer guests, or just are the two of us just kind of chill too?
No, I think in my opinion, it's good to have a little bit of both. I mean, our season this year, this season is to bring in and shine light on guests and stuff. But sometimes, you know, there are things that we personally experience and whatnot that I think we can shed light on. So, but there are a few guests that are lined up right now in the emails that I haven't had a chance to reply to. So that message was more for like, the message was more for like, sorry, we are getting to it. I know I got your email. I just haven't figured out scheduling and everything. So
right.
Yes. But I love coming on here. I love talking to you guys, and I hope that whatever we talk about can shed a light into the film industry and help, hopefully, some of both. See, hope that will allow people to learn from our mistakes. And if there are any questions or anything, if we don't know, we know people who do. So
we do know people who do. And speaking of which, Leighton from a friend of the podcast commented on Facebook. And he said, no preference, only that talks are stimulating. Great talk. Sad to see it end. Great job, guys. Well, thanks, Leighton. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. We're glad to be of service.
Yeah. It's a free podcast, you guys. You know, we're on Spotify, we're everywhere, and we love doing this shit. Christine, this is a therapy session for Christine. And it gives me a reason to yell about something. So
it's our audio journal. That's how I think. Audio journal about
totally
the film industry. And the thing is, like, I'm already looking back at some of our podcasts and being like, oh man, like,
yeah,
look at
I
where
know
we were before, and oh man, look at where we are. So it's gonna be even more interesting, like 10 years from now, and we look back and we're like, oh, remember how the time when Christine was an idiot and got
I mean, yeah, you're right. Or we would probably look back at that situation and be like, what a bunch of idiots. What a bunch of dumbasses.
If only
we run the best sets. Yeah. The queen of ADs, Christine Chen. Yeah, that's it, Christine. I got nothing else. I got a 10-1 and I gotta go to bed.
Yep, so. 10-1 and that's a wrap.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Facebook. Thank you so much, Instagram. We love you. Hopefully we'll be back next week. Maybe with another guest. Maybe it's just the two of us. We don't know. And we're unpredictable.
That's because the point of a set.
We're a couple of independent women and we don't need no man to hold us down. That's right. Thanks guys so much. And we love you. Goodbye. That's it. Bye-bye now. That's a wrap. Bye.